Last time on Braceface. This time on Braceface.
I think I just found a different Red Riding Hood.
In the last episode, we saw just how bold Braceface was and the topics it covered, and today we are going to take a look at another episode called Mommy Nearest. Just like before, I feel the need to place a warning on this video, as Braceface is a cartoon that goes places you never thought a kid's cartoon would go. While this episode's visuals aren't as extreme as the ones found in Busted, the context of this episode is perhaps even worse than the one in Busted. With that out of the way, let's get started. The episode starts off with Sharon on a date with a guy who looks almost identical to her brother. Already this episode is off to a creepy start. I don't like where this is going. Oh, it's just her dog. Oh god, I don't like where this is going. As it turns out, Sharon is stuck home on a Friday night, so she calls up her friend Maria to talk about the guy of her dreams. Tony Sporelli, a guy she fell in love with after he pulled some spaghetti out of her hair. Sharon decides to stay home that night to work on her English assignment, an essay about Little Red Riding Hood, and when searching for Little Red Riding Hood on the internet, Sharon comes up with 765 results. But I'm sure the episode's not going to make that joke.
Huh? This Red Riding Hood has matured in a lot of places. This was the beginning of a whole new education.
That just happened? And after a few days, her mom confronts her about the videos.
My homework?
Your homework was bookmarked in the history file on my computer.
Rookie mistake. Sharon starts yelling about how she can't get any privacy in the house, which leads us to the episode's biggest problem. The fact that the episode is very unfocused. The episode tries covering a lot of problems and a lot of lessons that never really get fully fleshed out because of how unfocused the show is. Sharon's privacy is just one of the many subjects this episode tries to cover, and it's almost dropped as soon as it's even mentioned. The next topic we've got to cover is...
Boys like Tony aren't usually interested in younger girls, and if they are, they shouldn't be.
That one. Sharon plans on sneaking out to go and watch an R-rated movie to hang out with Tony, and she drags her best friend Maria along with her. Nothing goes as planned, however, as Sharon's mom insists on going to watch the movie with the girls. Oh god, don't remind me of that episode, please. And this is the part of the episode I still can't understand. Sharon's mom runs into Tony and asks him what movie he's there to see, and Tony tells her that he's there to see a little kid's movie as a lie. My question here is, why did Tony feel the need to lie? It's already been established that Tony's 17 years old, and you only have to be 17 to watch R-rated movies, so I don't get why he lied if he's old enough to see the movie. I guess this is just a perfect example of how inconsistent the episode's logic can be at times. Anyways, after Sharon gets home, she blows up on her mom, expressing her anger.
And it's appropriate. I hate that word.
That is by far the most meta joke in the entire show. After that rough night, Sharon goes to school and sees that Tony is having a house party on Friday, so she decides to trick her mom into leaving her home alone that night, and if you thought they were going to tone down a house party for a kid's show, then you have no idea what you're dealing with. We have people making out, drunk fights, actual alcohol being served, and a drunk guy who tries to bang Sharon, and thankfully the only thing Sharon took from him were his car keys. But after a fight breaks out at the party, Sharon decides she's had enough and wants to leave.
What's the matter, Kakarot? I thought that you wanted to end this quickly.
That fight's gonna get out of control. Come on.
After calling a cab, Sharon's mom pulls into the party to take her home, but not before the drunk guy from earlier could ask for his keys back. Yeah, had Sharon's mom not showed up, Sharon would have left with the keys to this guy's car. A guy she doesn't even know, by the way. Dick move, Sharon. Sharon gets in the cab and heads home, but not before giving us this.
Hey, they meant well. Yeah, but so did I.
She snuck out to a party she was warned not to go. She deserves no pity. However, the episode seems to disagree, as Sharon gets praised for taking the keys of the drunk guy and trying to leave the party when she did. And the episode wraps up with the message it has been building up to since the very start.
So maybe my mom isn't as clued out as I thought. You never know. There could be hope.
And that was Mommy Nearest. Now I covered Busted in part 1 of the review to show just how extreme this show could be in its content. This time I decided to cover Mommy Nearest to show just how bad the show is at getting its messages across. Just like in the episode Busted, this episode doesn't really have a proper message to it. It tries tackling a ton of different subjects and never really gives any of them enough focus. The privacy topic never gets a conclusion. The older guy dating Sharon topic never fleshed out. The porn dropped after the first half of the episode. I wouldn't have as much of an issue if the show wasn't clearly trying to get messages across. This show tries teaching valuable lessons in a teen setting, yet it fails horribly to do so. As I've said in part 1, this is perhaps the worst aspect of Braceface. You would think that with them being allowed to talk about porn and beer that they could make lessons and messages that no other kids show could make due to censorship, yet they never use their freedom that creatively. It's such a shame that a show with this much freedom never used it to teach any proper messages. So now I've covered both the extreme content of the show and the show's poor attempt at delivering lessons. All that's left is one final part of this review, so be sure to like and subscribe to help support future reviews. And don't forget, as my good friend once said, Stampy, you idiot!